Well, it looks like Paramount is digging up Pet Sematary in order to creep out a whole new generation.
Sometimes dead is better.
Stephen King's 1983 novel about a secret burial ground that brings back the dead was inspired by his real-life experience when his son was nearly hit by a speeding truck. This book is the manifestation of a what-if scenario that haunted King thereafter.
The film, released in 1989, was directed by Mary Lambert and written by King himself. But how did they adapt this introspective tale of death during a time when the genre landscape had gotten...
stabbier?
Ground may be spoiled, but grab your shovel anyway. It's time to ask, what's the difference?
It may be no surprise to hear that Stephen King stayed pretty loyal to his original work, although he doesn't adapt any of the chapters involving sex. The book has a few moments that read like a Clive Barker novel, addressing the two most censored subjects in our society.
Both the book and the movie begin with a family pulling up to their new home in Maine. Dr. Lewis Creed, his wife Rachel, and their two kids Ellie and Gage, and a cat named Church. They also meet their neighbor Judd, who in the movie saves Gage just in the nick of time.
Not a nut road.
Gage!
In the book, though, Gage is stung in the neck by a bee, and Judd makes his introductions yanking the stinger out with his tender, old man hands. He then sends him over to his wife Norma, who is nowhere to be seen in the movie. But she's not the only character that gets dropped in the adaptation. The book showcases many other friends, family, co-workers, and even the Wendigo, the evil spirit that's behind all the paranormal chaos.
Bye-bye. Did anybody see what happened?
Later at the university clinic, a student named Victor Pascow is injured and taken to Lewis for treatment. But the good doc can't save him and Pascow expires, only to return as a ghostly harbinger speaking words of caution, warning him that the barrier mustn't be crossed. Cue the spooky lighting.
But in the book, the barrier shapeshifts into a pile of screaming, crawling bones!
Ugh, spooky.
This is the last time we'll actually see Book Pascow, as from here on out he only speaks to Lewis and eventually Ellie through dreams and whispered thoughts.
The movie, however, brings Pascow back to the screen a few more times, a la American Werewolf in London.
Why do I know that name?
Jump to Thanksgiving, where both book and movie Judd discovers the family cat Church dead near the road. He takes Lewis over the Deadwood Barrier to the secret burial grounds where they lay Church to rest, only to find the cat alive and well the very next day.
It was the ragman told me about the place.
Movie Judd then explains how he brought his dog Spot back to life and how it came back changed, baring its teeth and scaring his mother half to death.
But in the book, animals don't necessarily come back violent. It's more like the body is going through the motions of being an animal without grace or personality. Church does come back with a fondness for mutilating small vermin, but he doesn't target Lewis the way that Church does in the movie.
Amen.
In both mediums, the death toll continues to rise as another one bites the dust. In the movie, it's their housekeeper Missy, who takes her own life after convincing herself she has stomach cancer.
In the book, it's Norma who passes, suffering a horrible cerebral event and leaving Judd a widower.
Oh man, there's nothing sadder than an old man losing his wife.
Yeah, I know. It's just... Okay, now read the part where the little boy dies.
In the movie, Gage chases his kite into the busy road and is hit by a speeding Orinoco truck.
In the book, Gage meets the same fate, but it's during a game of Runaway from Daddy. The kite references an earlier chapter where Lewis and his son fly one shaped like a vulture.
Knowing the actions Lewis could be considering, Judd tells him the cautionary tale of Timmy Bateman, a boy who died in the war but was revived by his father. In the movie, Timmy comes back as a feral-like monster and seems to have devoured a young girl. Judd and his friends send him back to the grave, though, by setting the house on fire in a scene that feels strangely familiar.
But in the book, Timmy Bateman isn't such a mindless creature of violence. In fact, he has full-on conversations and seems to be omniscient. So when the townsfolk confront him, Timmy taunts the men with their deepest, darkest secrets. And ultimately, it's Bill Bateman who kills his son for the second time, setting the house on fire and taking his own life as well.
Needless to say, in both mediums, a reanimated Gage returns home and immediately goes after Judd.
Where did you...
In the movie, he is remarkably well put together given the fact he was hit by a speeding truck. And he doesn't say much, he just sticks to creepy little kid phrases.
In the book, however, Gage looks pretty ripe, with moss covering his crudely reassembled body. And because Book Gage is inhabited by the same spirit as Timmy Baterman, he taunts Judd with a sense of familiarity, saying things like, "You f***ed me once, did you not think I would come back sooner or later and f*** with you?" Yada yada yada, Norma f***ed your friends, and it was hilarious.
But once we get to the final showdown, things really diverge.
Gage? In the book, Lewis finds both Judd and Rachel's bodies mutilated in the same room. Gasp! Gasp! Gage attacks from behind, but Lewis pins him down without much effort. Gage's face then changes into all sorts of different people and spirits as it panics and protests.
The confrontation in the movie, however, feels like a scene ripped straight out of Child's Play. Rachel's body drops from the attic in a gruesome display, and Gage attacks from above. He gives Lewis a pretty good thrashing, but ultimately he succumbs to the morphine and goes down whining like a little baby.
No fair.
You know how babies hate morphine.
The final chapter of the book is from the point of view of Lewis's friend Steve Masterton, who spots Lewis walking the path to the pet cemetery with Rachel's body. Lewis asks him for help, and Steve considers it, feeling the call of the evil Wendigo spirit, but he scampers away, leaving Lewis to bury Rachel alone.
The movie instead gives this last encounter to Pascal, who in one final attempt pleads for Lewis not to make the same mistake again.
Please! Lewis! No!
Finally, in the book's epilogue, Lewis waits at home until he feels his wife's cold, reanimated hand on his shoulder as she sputters out a guttural "darling."
But the movie takes its opportunity for Lewis and Rachel to finally get physical. But it's the worst kind.
Gross. That's it for this episode, so if you think Dead is better, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to CineFix for more What's the Difference?
And more spooky lighting. Oh, it got me again.